I'm pleased to announce our Council Scout Executive, Andy Price, is going to just talk to us briefly about this change that we're making and the vision for our Roundtable program going forward.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks. As everybody was saying where they are, I'm in Scottsdale, so I'm not sure. I think I'm kind of central generally to where everyone is, but roll call check, I'm in Scottsdale. Thanks for being on tonight. And I think I saw 159 people, 160 people. It seems to be popping up every little bit.
Like, yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah, right.
I'm not the only one
Right.
talking.
Sit down.
Oh, there we go. I have been for a number of years thinking about how we fail our units with the roundtable function. I've worked in 5 councils and we've had different challenges in each of the councils, but a consistency has been that we have about 15% of our units attend roundtable. And for the most part, it's one person per roundtable. When we have, if you consider Cub Scout packs, wolf leaders, bear leaders, webelos, and so on, we all know the roles. And theoretically, we ought to have multiple attendance from every Cub pack, every troop, and whatnot. I know people are busy and whatnot, but people have told us in this council and the other 4 councils I've worked in, roundtable doesn't meet my needs. And when I take a step back and think about that, I realize we are not providing service, ongoing training, best methods to the tiger leaders, to the wolf leaders, to the bear leaders. And we lose a lot of kids in Cub Scouts. And guess where most Scouts BSA members come from? It's Cub Scouts. And so I realized we have a real opportunity. And so I've been chewing on this for quite some time. And at the beginning of the year, I met with Jacob and Davis and said, you know what, it's time to make a change. We have learned how to use technology. Thankful, one of the good outcomes of the last couple of years, we've learned how to use technology, be effective with it. We've got a really neat opportunity here. Of our 110 or so Cub Scout packs, we have about 110 tiger leaders and about 110 wolf leaders and so on. And I have to think that somewhere in this council is an amazing, astounding, energetic tiger leader, probably a bunch of them, but at least one. And an astoundingly amazing and energetic wolf leader and bear leader. And you see where I'm going with this. I think to myself, what if one of these folks led a Zoom-based tiger leader roundtable every month that wasn't all the tired old roundtable announcements and this and that, the other thing. And by the time we get to real discussion, we have 10 minutes late. What if we had just a quick hit, great monthly program by the leaders for the leaders, wolf, bear, webelos, scout, and so forth. And so Davis and Jacob have been working throughout the year to build that. That's the idea, that your tiger leaders in your pack, your wolf leaders, your assistant scoutmasters can jump on once a month, get a roundtable, get really good information. Not going to hear a lot of announcements because you know what we've heard from fireside chats is you get that off the website and you get it off social media. You don't need us to read flyers to you. So we want to put together great, fun, energetic, and useful roundtables. We also realize some people work in the evenings or they got kids they got to get fed or whatever, work late. And so we're going to record them. We're going to figure out where to post them, and they'll probably be posted for 30 days or 60 days or something. It's a little bit of a work in progress. We're not quite 100% where we want to be, and we still have a couple of vacancies. And I'm going to kick it back to Jacob or Davis to let you know sometime tonight where those are, so you can help us. If you know maybe it's a tiger leader and you know an amazing tiger leader in your community, you could share that with Jacob, with Davis, and we could talk to them and see if they'd like to help out. So I'm excited about what this change will do for our program quality at the pack and the troop level, frankly, more at the pack than the troop level. But I think it's going to be very, very impactful. It's going to take Roundtable back to the way it used to be, where it was a really useful tool for delivering program to kids. Thanks for being on tonight for the very first one. Thanks for letting me have a few minutes, Jacob, and I'll turn it back over to you, sir.
Thanks, Andy. And sort of building on what Andy was saying, we've got there's really 3 major functions and purposes of a roundtable program. We need to have a transfer of information between our units and the council. We need to have supplemental training that's useful, that's ongoing, and providing the little nuances and infilling of the gaps from the standard training. And then, of course, there's opportunities for fellowship and networking, exchange of best practices with our peers that helps us all elevate the program that we are providing. If you go on to the next, there's a number of trends that we see. I mean, for one, we all know that the past decade in the scouting program has seen tremendous changes across the Boy Scouts of America. We've changed the makeup of our membership. We're much wider now. We serve a huge array of youth, and really any youth that is interested in being a scout can have that opportunity, like Kent was talking about. We've had some changes in our charter partners, and we're still going through some changes like that. We've certainly been impacted by the bankruptcy. We've certainly been impacted by the COVID pandemic. So many organizations have. And what's really important is that we look at the new tools that are at our disposal. Zoom is one such tool. There's all sorts of ways that we have learned to communicate and operate a little bit differently in the way we carry out business. And the fact that we always did it some particular way may not make sense now. And nationally, the Roundtable program has gotten a lot of thought, attention, scrutiny in how to do, just as Andy was saying, elevate the relevance, the impact, and provide things that really help our units be successful. And so really, we want to focus on the things that matter. And the only thing that matters is that everything the council is doing is supporting units who are providing great program for youth. That's why we're here. And that's why we've got now 161 people on this call, because we all care about impacting youth in the communities that we serve. We know our volunteers are busy. Volunteers today are balancing work, sometimes multiple jobs. They're balancing family. They're balancing volunteer commitments. As Andy was saying, one of the critical groups that we have not supported very well through the Roundtable program is the wide array of den leaders that we have at all the different levels. And so one of the big aspects of this program, and Davis is going to talk more about it in a little bit, is how we're going to better serve our Cub Scout programs, but then also, even amongst the Scouts BSA program and others, our committee functions are a little different than what a Scoutmaster and an Assistant Scoutmaster needs. We want to make sure that this is super relevant, super focused, and give people the ability to get something meaningful. If you'd advance on to the next real quick. There's a few things that we've specifically looked at that have sort of informed how we're building this. One thing that's very evident about the Grand Canyon Council is that we're really geographically large. You know, for those of you that were on before the meeting started, we were kind of having fun talking about the different places that people are coming in from. We have not only this very wide state of Arizona and districts that in some cases span many hours to get from one corner to the next, but we also have the ability to even come in from other parts of the country. And we have a few people from other states that are traveling, but they're going to jump on and participate in Roundtable, and we appreciate you being here too. We know that our resources are limited. We've got a certain number of adults that are available to volunteer for this program. And for quite a while, we've had 6 districts and many more districts prior to that are effectively doing the same program in parallel. Well, what if we break that apart and we are able to dive in and focus more specifically on the different types of information that people need. Some of our districts might have a really good Cub roundtable, but maybe the Scouts BSA needs some work. Some of our districts don't have a full roundtable staff. By doing this new format, we're able to fill out the staff and make sure that our various different breakouts are really well supported and have the ability to really have that meaningful content. And then lastly, it is the content itself. We know people's time is short. Andy said at the end of his talk that what we're really trying to do, we want to be quick, actionable. We want something that someone can jump in, get what they need to go do a meaningful job, and then move right along into the next thing that they need to be doing in their lives. So that covers sort of the information and training piece, but then we also still have this fellowship and networking component of things. And we know that, oh, there you go. We know that that's important too. And there are, there's people in the group that would say, if when we do all of our roundtables online, we lose the ability for the fellowship and networking. And there's some truth to that. And we want to provide opportunities to get people together. And so we've structured this program around a balance of some programs that are council-wide and virtual like this, and then some that are going to be local and built around a particular topic. And we're going to talk more about that in just a moment. So each district, each community will have the ability some of the time to come together for a particular gathering, and then other times we'll be here as the full council all together. So with that, I am now going to hand over to my compatriot Davis here to talk a little bit more in the details.
On this slide, we effectively hit our quota for pictures. So get ready. It's the word heavy portion coming up. This one's word heavy because it's going to be, all of this will be shared. And I think this is a page that a lot of folks are looking for. Jacob was talking about how we're going to have these virtual training opportunities most of the year, but we're also going to have a handful of social or fellowship events. You can see 4 of them scattered throughout the year. And what I like about these is that they have a common theme and trend. So even though we're doing these locally, we still have camaraderie, and we know that these will be taking place in similar formats with other communities, keeping us as that one big scouting family. The other thing that you might notice about this is a lot of them have food related to them, but all of them are based around honoring, recognizing, supporting, and being with our fellow volunteers. Those months specifically are focused and centered on fellowship and social engagement. They're not designed to have a specific training module that we are delivering. I mean, somebody is going to have eye-opening experiences and information shared with them, but that's not the agenda for those months. The other 8 will have that time. And we've talked about how there's going to be multiple different breakouts, and part of this is to make sure we have consistency of messaging. Well, I'm gonna flip-flop the order of my next couple of slides, maybe. Let's talk about what some of these breakouts are going to be. We're going to have 4 breakouts for unit leadership. There's going to be a breakout specifically for Cub Masters, another one for PAC committee members, a breakout for Scout Masters, crew advisors, and ship skippers, and a 4th breakout for the committees of all of those older youth programs. This allows us the opportunity to really dial in and focus on the information that is necessary in that season for that type of volunteer, as opposed to the last 20 years worth of roundtables that have said there's going to be a troop level breakout and it's everybody in troops. No, there's 2 different troop breakouts to make sure that we're getting the service and the attention we need. Those 4 breakouts are going to be facilitated discussions. They're going to have subject matter experts that are here to share information that's critical about those topics at that time. if you look on the left-hand side of this, you can see the profile of the volunteers that are going to be helping out. Later tonight, we're going to ask you to nominate or suggest friends that you think could participate as some of these roundtable chairs, or in the classic terms, roundtable commissioners, to make sure that we're getting individuals that have that ability and that drive to support. Those are 4 of the breakouts. We have 8 total, and any speed readers would have seen what we put on a moment ago. The other 4 breakouts are geared towards the Cub Scout dens. We'll have lions and tigers together, an individual breakout for wolves, an individual breakout for bears, and then Weeblos and Arrow of Light, or Weeblos 1, Weeblos 2, however you're referring to it, because there are common program themes for youth in these age groups. They're going to follow these roundtable breakouts are going to be following the den leader experience, which walks den leaders through the next month's worth of programs. It includes what are the materials that we need to purchase, buy, have on hand in advance. It talks about the songs and skits that go along with that activity, and it helps ensure that the advancement can be recorded so that our scouts can earn their year's rank in the mid-spring. Andy mentioned in his early notes that that these new roundtable formats are designed to be for scouters and by scouters. The type of person that's talking to scoutmasters and troop committee chairs is facilitating a conversation. That's very often what the for and by scouters at that age group look like. When we're talking about Cub Scouts and den leaders specifically, we're looking for high energy, knowledgeable about today's Cub Scout program and the den delivery. It's great when they're confident and comfortable with Scout Book, because that's what we're drawing out of, and using these tools here. So this is what we're looking at. This is what we're looking forward to. If you have folks that you think can be an asset to us, either for a couple of months or to help out in a year-round capacity, we are excitedly collecting those names so that beginning on October 6th at 7 a.m., we can deliver the vision that October 6th, 7 p.m. What part did I miss?
PM.
PM. Yeah, PM. We can deliver this vision that we've just shared and cast with all of you. We're about to open up half a dozen breakout rooms. It's not the 8 breakouts of the new roundtable. It's 6 breakout rooms for the individual districts, so that as geographic communities, we can share and discuss some of the upcoming activities and things that are taking place at this time. We're really grateful for all of you joining us. We're thankful for what you do to support our scouts and our communities, and we're so glad to be a part of this with all of you. That said, I'm going to open the rooms up. Do you have any?
I just thank you all for joining in as we make this intro announcement. You know, as we say, we want these to be impactful, quick, focused, and have people get what you need and then get on to the next thing you're doing. Thank you for your time this evening. We'll dismiss everyone to the district breakouts, and we're excited to get this rolling next month.
Thank you, team.